What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. I'm just uploading This Week in Boxing. And I thought whilst I'm waiting for this video to upload, I'm going to try and answer the question or give my opinion on the question that get asked the most. And that's how Mike Tyson would do against this current crop of heavyweights. I say current crop, I'm only really talking about Wilder, Fury and Joshua. Although I did get an email the other day from someone asking me how Mike Tyson would do against Dillian Whyte. I haven't replied to that person because I think that's a silly question. No disrespect. I appreciate the question coming in, but that one probably wouldn't get out of the first minute of the first round, if I'm being honest with you. That's my answer. So how Mike Tyson would do against the current crop of heavyweights. It's funny because people always ask about Mike Tyson. No one asks, it's like no one's interested in how Evander Holyfield would do, or Riddick Bowe, or Lennox Lewis, or Michael Moore, or any other heavyweight champions in and around that era. It's always about Mike Tyson. And I understand why Mike Tyson, we all grew up as Mike Tyson fans. No matter what your age, really, if you are a boxing fan, you're a Mike Tyson fan, right? Although, as I've got older, I do realize, having watched nearly all of Mike Tyson's fights, that Mike Tyson's greatness was exaggerated. It was, people. He had a good run for about 3 or 4 years. If you think some of the heavyweights that we don't talk about a lot, like the Larry Holmes of the world and all the others that had runs sort of spanning nearly a decade, Mike Tyson's run was good for about 3 or 4 years, but it was only a 3 or 4 year run. Don't get me wrong. He was fucking ferocious in that run. And I think if it wasn't for all the crazy outside influences, he could have been, and this is a big could have been the best heavyweight of all time if he wasn't influenced by so much crap going on outside of his life. If good people were around him, he could have been special. And he was special, but he could have been even more special. All right, enough of rattling on. How would Mike Tyson have done against those 3 heavyweights? All those 3 heavyweights are obviously stylistically very different. One thing they all have in common, though, is that they're all fucking giants, right? I mean, Mike Tyson at his best was 5'11". Some people like to say 6 foot, 5'11", 5'10 and a half max, really. These guys are like, what, 6'5", 6'6", and 6'7", maybe even 6'8" in Tyson Fury stance. So big guys. They're all going to have a massive height advantage over Iron Mike. Mike did fight a few big guys, right? Handled himself well against big guys, but these guys are extremely big. In terms of a weight advantage, Deontay Wilder's got no weight advantage over Mike Tyson, pretty much the same size. But obviously Joshua and Fury have a big weight advantage. But I think people get weight advantage confused with power. For example, Mike Tyson is more powerful and can hit harder, no doubt about it, than Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. So their weight advantage would be when they're up close and trying to put their weight onto Mike Tyson, right? So you've got to be up close to put that weight onto Mike Tyson. And the last thing Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury want to be is up close to Mike Tyson. So let's look at the 3 fights and how those fights I think would play out. First things first, and I will say this straight away, I think Mike Tyson would destroy all 3. And that's not me saying that being a big Mike Tyson fan and discrediting these 3 guys. All 3 of these guys are world champions or were world champions. All 3 of these guys are very good fighters, but I just think Mike Tyson stylistically would annihilate all 3 of those guys. All right, who do I think out of the 3 would cause Mike Tyson the biggest problem? Probably Deontay Wilder. I think just because of the power factor, right? I mean, Deontay Wilder's power is real. It's not fake. I don't care about level of opponent. Deontay Wilder hits you clean, you have a problem. And I think Deontay Wilder, if he hit any heavyweight in the history of heavyweights clean, is going to cause him some problems. So I think that could be the biggest problem for Mike Tyson, getting caught on the chin by Deontay Wilder, although Tyson did have a good chin. But let's look at the other 2 first, and then we'll go back to Deontay Wilder. So Tyson Fury. A lot of people would probably say Tyson Fury would cause Mike Tyson the biggest problem. Don't see it at all, if I'm honest with you. Don't see it at all. I get that people think and assume Tyson Fury is a really good mover. I think he's a really good mover in an era where boxers simply don't know how to move, if I'm honest with you. I look at a lot of the heavyweights right now and they just are so ploddy. They don't know how to move. But sometimes I actually think this size thing's become too much, right? They're almost so big they don't know how to move properly, or they can't move properly. But Tyson Fury, nonetheless, is a good mover. But don't underestimate how fast Mike Tyson was. Mike Tyson would close the distance on Tyson Fury so quick. And once he's in the pocket, I mean, we know that Tyson Fury is not the best inside fighter. Mike Tyson can fight inside. Mike Tyson almost likes to grapple, throw the uppercut. That's probably his best punch, the uppercut. And it would be lights out so quick, in my opinion, for Tyson Fury. I honestly think if Mike Tyson can close the distance, and I think we can, remember we're talking about peak Tyson, 86 to 90, then Tyson Fury's in trouble. And Tyson Fury can't really punch, not like the other guys anyway. So it's not like Mike Tyson's going to be scared on the way in about getting hit with something clean, because Tyson Fury isn't the biggest puncher as well. So I think that one ends whenever Mike Tyson wants it to end. I know people are saying Tyson Fury might be able to use the jab and all that kind of stuff, but Tyson will close the distance on him, and then it's a fucking wrap. Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, big, powerful, strong, but very labored. Very slow in comparison to Mike Tyson, and quite predictable as well. I am a big Anthony Joshua fan. You guys know this, but I kind of, even watching AJ, I know what's coming next. I think we saw this with Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz started to time him. And if Andy Ruiz can time you, what can Mike Tyson do to you? Right? Andy Ruiz is short, fast foot. That's what they're calling Andy Ruiz. I mean, you're not going to tell me that Andy Ruiz has faster hands or faster feet than Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, one thing that Mike Tyson was extremely underrated for in today's boxing world is his ability to slip a jab, right? No one, maybe apart from Joe Frazier, no one can bob and weave better than Mike Tyson. Anthony Joshua will reach out the jab, which he's going to need to do all night. Mike Tyson will get underneath that jab, and then that's it. It's lights out. And it's lights out because Mike Tyson had power in both hands. So we're talking the left hooks would come in. We're talking the jab. We're talking the uppercut. We're talking the straight right. 3 rounds. He's doing him in 3 rounds. It's done. It's over. Just because, again, Anthony Joshua is too slow, too ploddy, and too predictable. Mike Tyson would read that 1-2. Anthony Joshua throws a 1-2-3 combination pretty much all the time. Mike Tyson would start to read that 1-2-3 combination just like Ruiz did, and then it's lights out. Deontay Wilder, this is the interesting one. Just because Deontay Wilder has got that X factor, which is that fucking right hand, which honestly is it's ridiculous. Honestly, it's absolutely ridiculous. But don't tell me Mike Tyson can't punch. Don't tell me Mike Tyson can't punch. One thing Deontay Wilder lacks, and it's foot movement. Oh, it's despicable. It's really bad. And he has underrated boxing ability, but I don't think he's that good a boxer either. I've said this before. I think he gets away with it just because of his power. One thing that Deontay Wilder will try and do, which is going to be to his detriment in this fight, which is going to be to his downfall, he's going to try and have a shootout with the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Remember, again, people, we're talking 86, 87 Tyson. As bad as Deontay Wilder thinks he is, and he is a bad man, granted, right? He tries to intimidate people. You think he's going to intimidate? Who do you think is going to be more intimidated of Mike Tyson and Deontay Wilder if they ever fought? Who? Deontay Wilder, of course. Remember when Mike Tyson says he does this thing where they're looking at him, and then boom, they take eye contact away. That's going to be Deontay Wilder. He is not going to want to have a shootout with Mike Tyson. If he does, he's out cold. Just because Tyson is faster. Tyson is more ferocious. Tyson is even a bit naughty. And as much as I say Deontay Wilder is a hard puncher, Mike Tyson can bang. Mike Tyson can bang as well. So I think Mike Tyson will slip the punch, throw the jab, and then take his fucking head off. And it's funny because we talk about Mike Tyson versus these 3 guys. Evander Holyfield smokes them all. Lennox Lewis smokes them all. I honestly do believe these 3 guys, if they were chucked back into the 80s and 90s era of boxing, would just be 3 contenders. Some of them might even not even get to contendership. I just feel like heavyweights back then were just better, could move better, could hit harder, not including Deontay Wilder, could take a punch better. Honestly, and this is not discrediting the guys now, because what we've got is what we've got, right? I hate to compare era to era, but I just think they were much, much better. I honestly do. And maybe I'm being a bit biased here because I do think that was one of the best eras in heavyweight boxing. But yeah, going back to what Mike Tyson would do, it would be assault. It would be like assault with a deadly weapon. He would destroy them all of them. And if you don't believe me, feel free to leave your comments below and tell me why you think any of those guys would hang. And don't use, oh, they were tall, they were tall. There was many tall boxers back in the day. Don't use that one. Or they were strong, or like what the guys back in the day weren't. I need some concrete reasons as to why Mike Tyson wouldn't annihilate all three. Peace.